Let us understand how to create a table using a CSV file. The create table command helps us to create a table data from the CSV file. Before that, let's create a database using the Spark SQL shell. Let me get into the Spark SQL shell. Let me start the Spark SQL shell, pointing it to the Spark master and pointing to the Spark warehouse directory. My Spark master is running in this specific node where 3 workers are running. I have master running in the node 5 and 3 worker machines are reporting to this specific master. So I'm mentioning the master and the port where the master is running, that is running in the port 7077. And I'm referring to the Spark warehouse directory to the HDFS location at this specific directory. I can check what are all databases available. Show databases. I'm going to use a specific database. If it is already existing, I'm going to drop it for the test purpose. So I have a database mydb_types. I'm going to drop database and then the database name cascade. All the data available in that specific location would get dropped. I'm going to use the data from this specific location, that is a NHL game data. It has a number of table data. Almost we have around 7 files about the game information, the player informations, what are all the games played. So all the detail available as a CSV file. So anyone can download the data from this specific location. I'll create a database for test purpose. Create database, if not exist, and then the database name. Describe would give me the information on what is the warehouse location for this specific database. This is the HDFS location. Let me create the table, pointing it to the CSV location. And already I have the CSV file within the HDFS. So this is the location of the CSV file that is added into the HDFS. I have the team information in terms of the team ID, franchise ID, short name, team name, abbreviation, and the link to the team. I'm going to use this specific CSV file to load the table. While creating the table itself, I'll point it to the CSV file location. Create table and then the database name dot table name. I'll mention all the column and their type using CSV, and I'll pass the option saying this file does have a header and what is the location of the CSV file. It's going to give out a warning saying the Metastore doesn't support the CSV file. That's a known issue. The CSV format is not compatible between the Spark SQL and the Hive-CD. So it's going to give out a warning. In case if the warning needs to be avoided, we can create an external table and point it to that specific CSV file location, or we can load the CSV file as a data frame and save the data as a table. Now automatically the table would have get created and we can see the table information, how it got created, what are all the columns. So it will be using this specific option to create the table. Describe, formatted, and then the table name. Since I have mentioned the location, pointing the location where the data is available, it is going to create an external table. External table in the sense the metadata would get created within the Metastore, either Derby database or an RDBMS, and the Metastore would be pointing to the specific location that I have the data. It is not going to repopulate the data within the data warehouse location. It will point to the location where the data already existing. And another difference with the external table is whenever I am dropping the table, only the metadata would get dropped and the actual data would be left untouched. Now I can create another table pointing it to the same location. It does work. I am creating another table pointing it to the same location, so that same data would be used for both the tables. So I have both the tables and both the tables would be pointing to the same location. This will also point to the same location and it would be external table. The other table that we created, that would also point to the same location. So any data that I'm adding into this specific location would be the data source for both the tables. And whenever I'm dropping any table, only the metadata from that specific Metastore would be dropped and not the data.